Hey guys, I'm Alexa Reeves, and I will be your witch and host on today's episode of Boxed Wine and Witchcraft. Uh, I have just cracked open a Boda box in my fridge, a Sauvignon Blanc, and it is tasty. And on today's episode, I get the privilege of giving you guys a brief review of some of our favorite tarot decks. I'm going to briefly go over who makes the deck, what the deck is made of, materials, card aspects, what I like about the decks, things that we can use them for, what I like about the books, if there are any drawbacks to the deck at all that we can find, or anything like that. These are entirely personal opinions created just by using the deck and being a reader and having had time with the deck itself. Each tarot deck is different. Each tarot deck is going to be specific to each user. So this is just my 2 cents on some of our favorite tarot decks out there. Today we're going to talk about the Wild Unknown tarot deck by Kim Krans. It is a great little deck. I got this deck as a gift. A friend of mine who's very, very artistic and loves to draw bought it for the artwork, looked at the artwork, and then said, well, I don't use cards, so here you go. So I ended up with it, apropos of nothing, which was amazing. It's like a mid-2000s card deck. It's relatively newer. But I like the fact that the artist and author of the deck, Kim Krans, created this deck in her response to how large and intimidating tarot can be sometimes. She touches a little bit on the fact that she lives with a little bit of anxiety, and this deck was actually her way of claiming her power over tarot and making a tarot deck where the images and the colors are things that literally everyone can relate to. She wanted it to be very accessible. And I love that about a deck. I love a deck that's aim is to be inclusive, yes, but inclusive with the goal of, hey, we're all humans and we've all been through this before. You can easily read tarot. Just do it. As far as the material that the deck is made of, what it is, it's a pretty decent sized deck. She covers the full major and minor arcana. Paper on it is a really nice, low gloss, sturdy, thick paper. The back design on the deck has a really nice black and white, almost snakeskin look to it, which is very pretty to look at. The whole deck is a little bit more of a longer rectangle shape. Kind of looks like longer playing cards almost. It fits pretty comfortably in your hand. It's almost to that point of just being a little too big. Any bigger, it would be just too uncomfortable. The entire deck, though, when you purchase it, it comes with a pull-apart cardboard box for the deck to live in. And the box is decorated also in the style of the tarot deck and also has, the symbols on it and other words written on it, which is nice, as well as a fully illustrated and fully explained book, too, that's actually like an actual book you could find in a library. It's not one of the little paper pamphlet books, which is really great. Some things I like about this deck. I love this deck. It was a gift from a beloved friend, but the artwork on this deck, you guys, the artwork that Kim Krans uses for this deck is so my style of artwork. It's heavy ink pen drawings, like black and white, kind of etch-a-sketchy drawn lines, thinner lines. And then she's got these giant, brilliant pops of color throughout some of the cards. Some of the cards are fully all black and white, no color in them. Some of them are fully Technicolor, but they're gorgeous. They're a combination of animal and nature imagery, as well as imagery of each of the tarot suits incorporated into them. It's a really pretty deck to look at as far as cohesion goes. As far as how it feels, though, with the readings that I've been able to do and what I've done with the deck before, it definitely has more of a feminine vibe to it, a more of a feminine feel to it, with some of the, softer animal images and some of the illustrations are geared more towards, like, for example, rather than having a king and queen of a suit, it's the mother and the father of the suit. So it kind of lends itself to being familial, to being a little bit more feminine. Rather than like a knight and a page, we have a daughter and a son of the suits. So I liked how that imagery played together because, for example, I'm looking here at the suit of swords in this deck. The court cards are represented by owls in this deck. So the son of swords is a young owl. The daughter of swords looks like a little bit of an older owl. And then the mother and father of swords are just owls. And I like the fact that there's that cohesion. The decks and the suits and the court cards definitely belong together. It's great. I like the fact that it can give harsher news. I have really good luck with this deck. Reading for clients who definitely want harsher news, but are okay if you sugarcoat it. They're okay if you go, well, I don't know how to say this, but here's the bad news. Because it's not blunt bad news. It's bad news cushioned with just enough softness, just enough comfort. When you get the bad news, you don't feel so devastated by it. And I like that in a deck. As far as her guidebook goes, it's a great guidebook. It's a comprehensive, it's a thick book. Actually, it's pretty heavy. I like the fact that in Kim Kranz's guidebook for the Wild Unknown deck, she offers brief overviews of each suit, of the court cards. She does a few suggestions for, how to shuffle your deck, how to cut your deck, how to do different layouts. And then she does a brief synopsis of each card, but they're really brief. I mean, they're like 3 or 4 sentences maybe. And she keeps it not vague with the idea that she doesn't know what she's talking about, but she keeps it so that you as the practitioner, when you turn that card over, can easily interpret beyond it. I like the fact that she doesn't kind of hold your hand through all of it. Because we do tell all of our lovely tarot readers when they get started that, don't look at the book first, give yourself time to look at, the cards, get to know them, kind of decide what you feel the cards mean, then go look at the book. But I like the fact that Kim gives you a good little groundwork to go off of, but then doesn't go into such minute detail that it doesn't leave you any room for your own interpretations. I think that's really important with a tarot deck, that you, as the reader, as the interpreter, can actually get something out of them, can actually let, intuition and let your higher spirit guide you to what the meaning of the card should be. The only downside, I would say, I guess, about this deck, and it could just be because I can't shuffle, sometimes the cards stick together when I try to shuffle them. Sometimes they don't really want to lay. The cards don't want to seamlessly come together in a shuffle. I think it's because the cardstock's just on that hair of too thick, which is important. It's important for your cards to be thicker, I guess, because they do get a lot of wear and tear and you want them to hold up, but it does make shuffling a wee bit difficult. And I guess the only critique I could really give the deck would be that there are just a few images in it that get a little busy, if you can hear my finger quotes around busy, because they are done in black and white ink pen drawing style. So some images are really heavy with colors and motion and things that are going on in it, and they kind of get overwhelming. But it's only a handful of the cards. And I've noticed that it is cards where that style of art would be appropriate. So it's not too overwhelming at all when it comes to looking through the whole deck, which is nice. And that's it. I do enjoy this deck. I am so happy I got it as a gift. I definitely think had I not received it as a gift, I would have gone out and got it. I would have purchased this one for myself. It's an excellent starter deck as far as someone who wants to start into tarot cards with their own interpretation, but doesn't necessarily jive with a lot of the more traditional artwork styles. It's a good dive into that, which is good. It incorporates a lot of nature, a lot of intuition and things like that into it, which is good for practitioners to get practice on. But it's a great deck. I highly encourage you guys to, if you've got it, leave us a comment. Come by the store and tell us what you like about the deck because it's amazing. It's super fun deck. I know also she has come out with an Oracle deck that we'll cover soon too when we get through all of our tarot decks here. So feel free to let us know what you liked about the deck, what you did not like about the deck. Shuffle these cards, throw them out, and see what you guys find. I am going to go top off my wine, and I will see you all in the next one.